9 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
So, it's just gone 9 o'clock. I've got to say, well done, Colin, for being top man. First in, Jim, Yogi, Bengal Bert, and Philip. So I got 19 in the house. It's, as I just said, 9 o'clock. So today's, would you believe, is Sunday, it's the 6th of April. So we're already well into this year now. Coming up to Easter, 23 today. It's pretty hot out in the sun today, I must say. Still not perfect blue skies, but it's getting there. But I still think the weather's a little bit pants at the moment. But hey, can't complain at those temperatures. Anyway, tonight I've got Yogi's lucky hat, because in there we've got 28 of you. So somebody out of that 28 is going to get a free sticker. Where is that camera? Is up there somewhere. It looks massive, doesn't it? But it's not really. So tonight's questions. I've got 1, 2, 3. Got 4 of you, top people. No doubt in the old, where's the dodgy clock? Colin, you're a top man. Well noticing I've moved it because I'm fed up. It's over there. You can't see it, but it's over there. And unfortunately, it's saying 7 o'clock. It's just, I love the clock, but I'm fed up with trying to fix it. So it's over there now. Now I am looking out for a bigger clock that will go above my head. But well done, Colin, for noticing the clock's gone missing. So let's have a quick look, see if I missed any questions so far. Got all the man in there from Phil. Tony's in, George, Jonathan, Des. Hey, top man, Jez, you're in there. The CFC Des. Looks like someone's had hair. Yes, I've had a haircut Monday. Not unfortunately, I have to have my toenails cut. So having my toenails cut also is a good time to have my hair cut. Get a new clock, says Yogi. Yeah, like I just said, Yogi, I am on the lookout for a new clock. Well, I haven't found the one I love yet. Oh, Rob's in. I'll be in Madrid in a couple of weeks, and they told me I don't have to carry my passport all the time. Rob, be warned. 2 people on the beach last year got caught by the Guardia. I mean, not all the police are friendly, but yeah, they got fined €100 each. I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be happy walking about with my passport in my pocket, but just be warned. But main thing is, Rob, have a nice time. Lovely place, Madrid. Cutting in your new toenail. Yes, I know. Just don't even want to imagine it. Anyway, let's get on with the first question, because if I don't, we won't get anywhere. So my first question is from that well-known actor, Buster Keaton. I thought he was dead. Anyway, Buster Keaton was asking me, "Hi, Sean, bike or scooter rental?" Good question, that. Now, I saw last year on Camposol B, it's the MG Management Services, which is opposite the Spanish builder or the diner. They do everything from looking after your property, translators, everything you can think of. This company does it. They even do car rentals. Now, the car rentals is, let's get this right, MG Camposol cars. But I did see last year, funny enough, even better still, I was actually talking to one of the young ladies in there, and she was saying they do scooters, not the scooters where those youngsters go on and they're skipping along with their foot. I'm talking about the motorbikes. I think like scooters. Yeah, the real scooters, not those bloody things you buy in a supermarket. But I have to be honest. I looked on the website. I couldn't find nothing other than I know they do car rentals. So if you're on Camposol, let me know when you're walking around to the MG Management Services. Can't miss it. It's a big red sign up there. But I know they would do renting out motorbikes. So let me know. I went past there the other day. I didn't bother looking. But good question, that, Buster. Right, Glenn. Glenn's asking, just checking any new question. No, nothing yet. We've got 29 in the house. So officially, just before we go on to the questions, we've got to drag it out a bit. I can't see, guys, the likes. So I'll imagine if we've got 29 people watching me, officially, there should be 29 likes. And out of that 29, I must say, I do wonder how many of you lot out there are actually subscribers or you're just looking. Guys, it didn't cost you nothing. If you don't like the show, I know some of you, oh, look, see, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, 2 are left already. Anyway, let's go back to the question. So here we go. This one's from Glenn. All right, question, Sean. Oil central heating, how much per year does oil cost? Also, does it heat radiators or just the hot water as well? Good question, that, because one of the things I didn't really think about, as always, with a lot of things when you're moving to Spain, was about obviously the central heating. What's it run by? I mean, where I used to live in sunny Dorset, we had oil because it was out on the outback, so it was out on the what I call the countryside area. Yeah, we had oil, but we didn't. Thankfully, we had piped in gas, so I had the gas. Now, unfortunately, on Camposol, there's not piped in gas. You can get gas bottles, but you can't really. We haven't got piped in gas. Now, if you went down the road to the Mazaron, hang on, I've got this thing come up on the screen. I just want to get rid of that. Okay. Yeah. If you go down to the Mazaron Country Club, as far as I know, they got piped in gas. I think, I'm not 100%, I think the Condado, on about the golf resort, I think they got piped in gas, but on Camposol, you got a choice of either oil, pellet burners. Apparently, you can get a pellet burner heating system, bit expensive to put in, maybe not to run, but to put in. What else could you have central heating by? Obviously, another one is solar. Now, thankfully, after the past year or so, solar is starting to become a little bit more popular now. But yeah, anyway, going back to Glenn's about the oil. Now, usually now, oil is going to be over the euro. I'm talking about for a litre. And I think last time I filled up, it was a Euro 6. And I need to get some more oil anyway. Anyway, asking about also, what's the cost? Now, that, Glenn's all depend on the size of your property. If you get a big, massive property, it's going to cost you obviously a lot more to keep it warm. Also, you mentioned about, it does the hot water as well. I think nearly all oil burners do hot, and the radiators. But to be honest, we got a 600 litre tank. Now, some people got a 1,000 litre tank. Some have got their tanks outside. Some have got them built in a little shed. We got ours in a little shed. And we usually, at the moment, I'm going to put in another 300 litres in this week. So hopefully that'll be it. That next 300 litres, I mean, we're just going to top it up. So that probably knock us up to about 400 litres. And that would last us right through now until we need to put the heating on again, probably I would say sort of late November. That's when it starts to get a little bit chilly in the evenings. So, depending on your property, Glenn, another thing that we done so we don't use so much oil for the heating anyway is we had a wood burner put in a couple of years back. Best thing I've ever done. Nice sitting in front of the wood burner, blows out the heat. Some people use aircon. Now I've tried that, but I just couldn't get on with it. When it's the noise, I mean it's just an irritating noise, isn't it? And it blows it. I don't like that. I'm an old bloke. I suppose I'm used to the old radiator stuff. So Glenn, hopefully that's answered your question. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go through if I missed anything, because sometimes I do. Right, what nail varnish do you go for your toes? Colin, I don't use nail varnish. You think I am? But if I did, I would like a nice sort of red colour, but I don't. Right then, here we go. So Collins just told me 4 minutes ago I got 19 likes. Okay. And Tony, thumbnails up. Well, nice one that, Mark. Well done. Okay, so let's go through more. Feels like in the haircut. Well done. John's in from sunny Wales. Find that hard to believe. Sunny Wales. It always rains there, doesn't it? I'm removing my light, so down to 18 now. Colin, Sky. I've been subscribed since you stopped. Well done, Tony. I've always said you're the top guy. How is Bonnie? Says Simon. Bonnie's an old doggy now. Bonnie's over 11 years old now, and obviously you probably heard, if I didn't tell you, that Bonnie was ill a while back. She had a big, a stone in her kidney. She had a kidney stone, which had to be removed, and then she had a couple polyps. Had a couple of them. Thankfully, everything was else fine, but also she's got a bit of arthritis in her legs now. So she's a bit like me now, a bit grumpy. Every now and again she has a mad spurt about. But yeah, she's all right, really. Pain in the arse, really, at night time. She wants to go to bed at 11 o'clock. And when she wants to go to bed, we all have to go to bed. But that's what happens when you get a dog, isn't it? I'm free and great. It's free and great information. Yes, that's right. I'm just cotton on to that, Tony. Very true. Very true. That is, Tony. What are the pros and cons of a wood burner or pellet burner, please? Says Bengal Burt. Okay. What I'm going to say is, now, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. A lot of the pellet burner people are going to say it's the best in the world, but I've known a few people that's had a pellet burner put in. They've had it taken out because they've had a wood burner previously, and they've had a wood burner put in. Now, I'm not saying everybody. Now, if young Harvey's watching me, I know he's got a pellet burner. He's got a lovely place, and it keeps him nice and warm. So, me personally, it's pros, isn't it? I mean, obviously, with the wood, now I get a ton of wood delivered once a year. Now, I think end of this year, I think I might have 2 ton put in, to be honest. We didn't use it all up. We still got a little bit left. But I'm thinking about it doesn't cost a lot. A ton of wood costs me €150, which I think is a bargain, really. I don't know how much pellet bags cost. I suppose they're about the same price, but I have heard, but I'm not a pellet burner, see, so I can't say that. But I can remember when pellet burners first come out a few years ago, pellet bags were pretty cheap, whereas now they cost a little bit more. But me personally, I don't think there's nothing like sticking your feet in front of a nice wood fire. I don't know about the eco people. I'm not even sure now. Are you allowed to have a wood burner still in the UK? But here in Spain, I think everybody's got some sort of wood burner going of some sorts. But yeah, I mean, I just loved it. I mean, you can't believe how hot it gets, to the extent where I have to open up the doors for the outside because it's just so hot. And what it does, it knocks off the central heating because the temperature's gone up in the rooms. So that's what I'm saying. We don't always have the central heating on now. So that's a bit of a saving, really. But yeah, I prefer a wood burner, but I'm no doubt the pellet burners are going to say we prefer a pellet burner because it's just got a bag. It swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So Des is in now. Des has got a question. Who has he? I'm just reading it. Hi, Sean. Once you decide on what clock you want, draw a picture of it and I'll see if I can make you one. Fully equipped with steel fabrication and also have a woodworking shop. Oh, sorry. So you have a fully equipped. Okay, right. Well, to be honest, I'm going to have to move the clock round again because that clock, I love it. It's what it is. It's a giant size shape of a old-fashioned alarm clock with the two bells on the side. So if you can visualize that clock, says that's the sort of clock I want. Obviously, and also the old school clock face, with the Roman numerals. That would be amazing, Des. And you never know. But I don't think you will win the free sticker Sunday because I can't remember now. I don't make much records of people's names and I'll stick it in your hat. But he might not be on this one. But we'll see. But yeah, that would be amazing, Des. So yeah, if you can remember, what I'll try and do next week, because I'm not going to do it now. Next week, I'll put that clock back and you can visualize that clock. And it would be like bottle green would be my preferable color. I don't mind red, but bottle green would be a nice color. Right, so we got 31 in the house. Now, I bet I ain't got 31 likes, have I? So anyway, we've done that. We've done the Glen. Right, Mick's asked me a question, which is interesting, really. So Mick's saying, hi, Sean, what are your thoughts on a Rosa-style property? Now, obviously, he's on about the properties here on Camposol, because they do numerous names, Fortunas, Victorias, Neptuno Deluxe, Sabilis. But anyway, Mick was asking about a Rosa. Funny enough, Mick, I live in a Rosa, so I'm going to say it's an amazing property. So what it is, a Rosa, we're talking about campus. I'm not talking about anywhere else around the Spain because I don't know what other urbanisations you name their buildings by. But here on campus, our Rosa is a 2-bed, 2-bathroom property. What I will say, the lounge is a fair size. I'm not going to complain about the lounge, but the kitchens are a little bit small, I must say. What they've done, don't forget, this is going back 20 years ago when it was all the style. We used to have a separate dining room, a separate kitchen, a separate lounge, whereas now they all seem to go for the one, don't they? The lounge with a built-in kitchen. Well, what I would suggest, if you're looking at a Rosa, is they got like a partition between the kitchen and the dining room. And so I've seen people knock that middle wall down. Don't knock it down completely because apparently it also supports the roof. So you just knock out the middle section. A decent builder will let you know how to do that. And you could have one big kitchen then, and because people don't use dining rooms now, do they really? We've got those tables for old people where you stick it on your lap sort of thing, and we just eat in the lounge. But yeah, I would say the kitchens are a little bit small, and I think that they're the same for was it Fortunas, Fiestas, those sort of things. But hey, not everybody wants a big, massive kitchen, do they? I don't really want it. I just make a cup of tea now. I'll let the wife do all the, the washing stuff and the cooking stuff. Dropping myself in there, aren't I? But yeah, I fell in love with it. Our Rosa, all the Rosas will have like an open terrace. They have like 3 arches Well, ours, thankfully, is all filled in. So in the winter time, we can. That's what we do. We sit out on the terrace, have our dinner there, or our breakfast, and we look out over Camposol. And it's nice and warm because we've got radiators in the terrace as well. But I know, obviously, if you buy a Rosa, most of the terraces are open, and then you walk into the door. I mean, another thing with a Rosa, you've only got one door. You haven't got a front, and you've only got a front door. You haven't got a back door. Some people don't like that, I suppose. Whereas, obviously, a Neptuno, and I think thinking about, I think the smaller ones, what they call the Fiestas or the Fortunas, they actually have a back door, but for some reason the Rosa don't have it. But you could have one put in if you wanted to. So, Mick, hopefully that was helpful. Right, unfortunately, that's all the questions done for today because that's all I had, guys, and that was only put in today. So to keep this going, you got to keep giving me the questions, or else I'll just have to stop. So I'm just going to see if we got anything here. Right, right, Tony. So I'm just reading. If you want to know about Camposol and the surrounding areas, just subscribe. Hey, you're top man, Tony. You're plugging me, Tony. You're a top man. I've always said it. But bottle green won't match your toenails. That is very true, Philip. Well, Philip, you're just too observant. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I'll do, Des. Before you start building this clock, I'll put the clock back for next Sunday above my head. Give you an idea. Bottle green. I still think bottle because I'm an army man. See, I'm an old ex-army man. Green's always your colour, isn't it? But not army green, but bottle green would be a nice colour. And tables for old people. You know those lap table things, Rob. Anyway, it must be late for you, Rob. Must be like early morning, like 3:00 in the morning, Rob, isn't it? Any check? Okay. Any charge points for EVs on Camposol, says Rob. No, other than plug extensions, which I've seen quite a few cars here on Camposol. They've got extension cables hanging out their property over the wall into the road. I mean, I'm surprised really because obviously you think electric cars have been out a few years now, haven't they? And there's nothing on tour on campus. So I'm surprised, especially over on B, where they got the big car parks. Even the garage ain't got nothing. Not even the supermarket ain't got nothing. They're just not big here in Spain. I mean, I think down in the port, there's a couple of places on the shopping centre area where they got some plug-ins. And no doubt somebody's going to tell me they got some plug-ins somewhere else. But I know the cars that I've seen on Camposol are just using an extension cable. Now, I don't know what the law is on that, if it's hanging out over onto the pavement into your car. Surely that's against the law, especially when I've seen cars parking on pavements. Surely that's against the law because they're a bit strict here in Spain. You can't wash your car in the street, so I'm sure you can't plug your car in the street. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing about the electric car thing, isn't it? I can never see me getting an electric car, but unfortunately, there's nothing. I don't know. Thinking about it, even on the country club, as far as I know, there's nothing there. Condado, the golf resort. The only one I've seen, only one golf resort where they've got like free charging points, and that's the La Tour. Now, I would imagine the Manga, because it's got 3 golf courses in one. I would have thought that they've got some charging points, but Spain is still not really into it. Don't see many. I mean, you see electric cars, obviously, but you don't see many of them driving about. Maybe because you can't hear them, isn't it? I suppose that's the problem. So it's noon. Noon? Do you mean like it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon? Noon, obviously. So Kev is late on parade. Kev, God, it's nearly 1:30, mate. You nearly missed half of it. Just guests. Oh, you got guests, have you? And I feel for you, Kev. And the guests are out, especially on a Sunday afternoon, trying to keep them entertained. When UK driving licenses are changed from UK to Spanish, do you get the C1 category, meaning that you can drive a vehicle over? Good question, that, Peter. No, I don't know about that. But what I will say is, I know when I exchanged my driving license, I didn't look at it, and I obviously had a 7.5 ton thing on my back of my card that had disappeared, and I think some sort of van thing that does. But apparently, if you still got your original, I mean, I always had 2 driving licenses anyway. If you still got because what tends to happen when you exchange your license, you give in your obviously your UK one to them. But I've always kept a copy. But I'm not bothered now. I don't want to drive a 7.5 truck anymore. Okay, maybe it's going to limit me to a camper van, but I don't like camper vans, so I won't be hauling out a camper van. But yeah, one thing I've learnt here is if you do give in your exchange your driving license here in Spain, they tend to knock it off. And some people say you got to tell them, and even telling them, you still get yeah, like you said, you got to check back of that card. I think the only thing I can say is that when you go to one of these centres, obviously the other thing is that most of them speak Spanish. Obviously, they're going to speak Spanish, and if you ain't got a translator or you don't explain what you want, you want the same as what you get back from the Spanish driving license, it would go missing. So just be prepared for that. And when you hand in your driving license, I've known some people waiting 6 months. Now, what they should do, they should give you a A4 piece of paper with some blurb on it when they stamp it, and that's your cover note. But usually they take, I don't know, about a month to get back in the post. It's end of the day, it's be on the system. And what I found is your TIE card covers you for most things. If you get stopped by the police, obviously they're going to ask you for your driving license. But if you just handed it in, they're quite up to date with all this technology stuff. They know if you haven't passed your test or you've been banned or whatever. Yeah, but good idea you mentioned that, Peter. Check the back of your driving license when you get him back off them. But yeah, go hybrid. We're 9 hours. Oh, you're in the past then, Rob. Nice guests tonight. Oldest schoolmate and in half. George is in. Are you any further forward getting the solar panel company regarding the video about the ins and outs? George, you missed it. Funny enough, last summer it was, somebody contacted me on Camposol B. I forget his name now. I think it's called Brian. I think it was. He didn't want to be on camera, which was fine. We did a video of all these solar panels, and he was showing me all the batteries that he used. The guy, this is the funny thing. The guy that actually installed it, an English guy that installed it, was going to meet me on the day. Didn't turn up. All I can think of is here in Spain. I mean, I know the solar panel people. They're not registered. They're not regulated. That's not registered. They're not regulated properly here. Because I know a lot of people that have panels and they're not sufficient for what they need. Because this is the other problem here in Spain. Because they're not regulated. I've known people to be ripped off for not having the proper stuff. But one thing I think it's Brian. One thing he did say, because he just wanted to just put in the panels and just use electric from the panels on a daily basis. But he was advised, and he said I'm glad he did do it. He's got 3 batteries. Now the batteries for the solar, that's the most expensive thing, and it's a bit of a minefield because every time I contact any of these solar panel companies, as soon as I say, "Oh, can I make a video?" they're off. They don't, they don't want to know. I mean, it'd be nice to know if somebody's here tonight who runs a solar panel, because I'll be honest, over the past years, I mentioned at the beginning of this live chat, it is getting more and more popular now. Now, some of the panels that I've seen on some of the roofs, I do wonder, because some of them look a bit of an eyesore, really. They're on framework, and I do wonder, is that proper planning? And I've got friends further up, and I don't know if Lillian and Chris are watching. Now, they live in Costa Brava, and funny enough, they had a solar panel company come out, but they thought they'd just check with their local council on planning, and they were told they can't have them on their roof because their roads are Drover Road. Now, I ain't heard of Drover for years. Being a Dorset man, a drover is a road for the sheep. What it is, it's a historic road. So another thing to be careful of here in Spain, when you're having stuff installed, make sure it's past planning, because they said to her, if you have that installed, that would have to come off. So something else. But obviously that will depend, as always here in Spain, from each region. Each region does things differently. But I know in the Costa Brava, they are a little bit more stricter on the rules. So anyway, there we go. Let's have a look at... So, George, check back to last summer on my playlist. There's one on, I think it's on the Camposol list. It's all about solar panels. Free sticker Sunday, says Brian. Bit late now, isn't it? Eh? Oh, thinking about it, because it's just on our pass. SK's in as well, top man. Yeah, they let me drive through the international permit. No tests, no hay. Well done, Rob. That's what I say. Thanks for the advice. We will still be looking for a motorhome, planning to buy a left-hand drive so we can be important. Blah blah blah. We will. I'm sure you will, Peter. I mean, I can't see, if you've been driving those types of van anyway. But yeah, like I said, just check when you exchange it over for the Spanish one, that make sure they put it on there. That's all. I've got a lot of solar lights in my garden. If you want, now we've got lots of solar lights and art. Jan's got those flashing ones like Christmas time. Because we go out at night time, we got all these bright lights flashing. So you're lucky there, Colin. I would have been round there, but too late. I've done it. Do you have a British and Spanish passport? Says Deb. No. I mean, I think I've got a couple more years that if I wanted to, I could go for Spanish citizenship. See, big word that even for me to pronounce that wrongly, citizenship. No, I've just got a British passport. And to be honest, I will always have a British passport because, as they always say, you never know, I might have to return to the UK. I don't want to, but I think you can never say never. And I think having a British passport is like my bit of safeguard, just in case you don't know what's around the corner. Will I get a Spanish one? Probably not. I'm just too old for it all now. I ain't got that many years left in me, unfortunately. Like the sheep, really care about solar panels. Yeah, this is right. Anyway, before I gas on anymore, because it's gone 9:30 now. It's the time. It's the time now for the free sticker Sunday pick. So out of you 28 in there, I've got it round back and front now. One of you lucky lot, and it's always trying to get this camera in the right bit. It's going to get that sticker. So here we go, and I've got to go over to my other bit now. I've got to do the drum roll. There we go. Always hate this bit because I never know if I could pick out two of them. Anyway, so somebody on there has got it. Who's that? It looks like it's upside down, doesn't it? I think it is upside down. Can I read that? I think I can read that. Oh, it's Sue Reeves. Sue Reeves. I can read that this way round, which is pretty good for me. So, Sue Reeves, you've won the sticker, the free the free Sundays, the free, oh God, the free sticker Sunday sticker. I've got to go and forget what I'm doing now. So, yeah, Sue Reeves, right, Sue Reeves, if you're watching tonight, that would be amazing. I'm just going to put it back onto the comments. If there's anything about this channel, I have to keep switching over. Yeah, Sue Reeves. If that's your real name, obviously. If all I need, Sue Reeves, is your name, your real name, obviously, and your address, it'd be in the post. Now, Glenn, I think you're still watching. Glenn, it's in the post, but British mail or Spanish mail, because it got to go from Spain to the UK, can take sometimes a long time. Now, I sent my wife some tablets while she was back in the UK. Now, that was about a month ago, and she still hadn't received him yet. Well, obviously, because she's back here now, but her daughter hasn't received him yet. Now, I've got stuck at customs because I said on the letter that it was toys, because I wasn't too sure, are you allowed to send medication through the post? But anyway, Glenn, I'm sure it'll be there next week. So Sue Reeves, your top lady, won this week's free sticker Sunday sticker. As soon as I get that, and if you say, how do you get in contact with me? Most people get in contact with me through Instagram. It doesn't take much to set up an account. If you private message me through that, or you private message me through Messenger, because obviously it's still going to be Expat and Mazaron, don't put it on air, and it'll be on its way. So well done, Sue. You're a top lady. So here we go. Bengal Burke's asking, what's the requirements or recommendations for funeral plans? That's a good one, isn't it? Okay, good subject that. I think, honestly, that's the most important thing as old people, even anybody, being a youngster that comes over, living in another country, is get your funeral plan sorted, guys. And also get your, what's the other thing that you have to do? Your will. Get your will sorted. Because don't forget, here in Spain, things are done differently. It's not like if you peg it and then they hanging around in the fridge for a couple of weeks. They want to get rid of you straight away if they can. Funerals don't hang about here in Spain. They like to get you off down to the crematorium place and put you in a bottle, and that's it. So, no, I don't mind. I don't get nothing out of green. I think I'm with Green Leaves, and they do like a yearly plan thing where I ain't got that type of money to give it out straight away. So we used to pay, I think it was €50 a month. We've only got one plan, so obviously the first person that pegs it between me and the wife gets the best send away, and the second person will just get the I don't know what is the cheapest. But yeah, there's no requirement. The one thing I like about Green Leaves, and I don't know about the other funeral things, is if for some reason, like, because nobody can say I'm going to be living here. I mean, I want to live here in Spain the rest of my life, but you can't say 100% that will happen. There might be a reason why you've got to go back to the UK. And one thing about Green Leaves, I'm sure it's called Green Leaves. Yeah, is that you can pass on the funeral back to the UK. I think in the UK, obviously, it's more expensive there anyway. You might have to top it up. But here in Spain, it's vice versa. But the other thing is part of that funeral thing. I mean, and it's things you've got to talk about, really, isn't it? As you get older, you've got to think about these things, because you can't tell me, oh, yeah, I'll be living for the next 20 years or so. You just don't know what's around the corner, do you, really? And you got to be real. So you want to sort out your will, because the will is another important thing. Here in Spain, they got this tax thing, inheritance tax. Now, I think things have changed there slightly now, because usually when whoever dies, the son of the family will inherit the property. But I think that law has changed now. Obviously, the lady can, if I peg it, Jan will be left with the house. I know she's got to change a couple of things, which is another nightmare. But inheritance tax, a lot of people can't afford to pay it. This is why you see a lot of empty houses here in Spain because of this stupid law they got with an inheritance tax. And I'm not going to talk about that because that's all about money. And he needs to listen from somebody that's a professional, not some old YouTube bloke like me. But yeah, wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, you do need to think about getting yourself a funeral plan. There's loads of them doing it out there now. I think on Camposol there's another company called White Doves. I haven't seen much about them advertising. I think there's another lot that canvas outside some of the shops, some things like that. But yeah, and also another important thing is your will, because you just don't know what's going to happen, do you? So how are we doing now? We got 22. That's good. I've been gassing for that long. Got 25 in the house. I must have at least 25 likes, surely, because at one period it was 35 likes. Right, everybody's saying well done, Sue. Yeah, well done, Sue. Hi, is there a beach bus this year to the port? Good question, that Jan. That's all I know. On A, because it's only on A, there's a bus stop near the new hospital. It's got a timetable, so that's a big help, isn't it? But there's a bus there. It's I think it's a little bus, and it's got I think it's a blue bus with an M on it, I think, and that goes down to the port. It didn't cost a lot, and I've known a few people. I've never tried it. I'm not a bus person myself. Last time I went on a bus here, I caught COVID. But I want to go down to the port. There is a bus that goes down to the port daily. Now, what I do know, because I was chatting to Carol and Dave in the week, I made a video with them and a chat to chat. And no, so it wasn't them. It wasn't Carol and Dave. It was Adine and Gavin, and they were telling me the Campo bus is a little. If you didn't know, there's a little mini bus that drives about Camposol. You pay a set monthly fee. If you just go onto Facebook, everybody will redirect you to their site, and they take old people about on campus. So especially if you've got to go to the doctors. If you live over on D, it will take you to the doctors, medical centre. I'm talking about the Consume supermarket on B, and I think she was saying once a month they go down to the port. So there you are. I've answered that question. Right. So how are we doing? Right, £5 for your stickers. £5 for your stick. Oh, we're not selling stickers, Phil. All right, my missus just gone up, dropped my body at the Greenway. My missus has just gone and dropped my body at the green waste area. What is that then, Kev? Am I missing something here? How much are Spanish wheels? Does anyone know? Says Colin. I'm glad you said that, Colin, 'cause I ain't got a clue. And it don't cost a lot, Colin. Come on. It's the most important thing. The thing about the wheels, it obviously has to be in English and it also has to be in Spanish. So if you ever do, don't just go, oh, there's a bloke down the road. He's been doing it for a couple of quid. Now, saying that, I think Debbie Shaw does wheels here on campus. So I don't think it's a lot. I don't want to say it's €25 just in case it's a lot more. But I know she does do wheels. So here you are, Colin. Check her out. And I've got 40 likes. Nah. Really? I've got 40 likes? It's only 26 you're in the house. But if it is, top man. So I've run out of questions now, and we've got 15 minutes. So if anybody can't come up with something, then I've got nothing else to talk about. Oh, so you're right, Colin. You was right because Bengal Burks have got 41 now. So thanks for that, says Jan. Kev, my funeral plan. Right. I see it now. I see it, Kev. I'm getting it. She's going to dump me off at the green waste. Might as well, because that green waste area is getting bigger and bigger. They wouldn't better find you in there, would they, for about a couple of years, if they decide to clear it, of course. What I will say, we're going back to the funeral thing. We've got two funeral places here down in Mazaron, and funny enough, they're sort of virtually opposite each other. One's an English one, the English funeral directors, very good. Now, funny enough, every morning nearly, because I have a cup of coffee outside Rendezvous, they turn up. And I don't think they watch me, so the lady and the guy, they turn up. It's quite amusing when I go down to the funeral place. I see him there as well. I think what he's doing, he's eyeing up for business, no doubt. So, and it's a nice service. I mean, I don't know what's it's not what I call churchified. You go in there and you have a bit of a sing song and you however you want to be buried in a box, or I don't know. I suppose it is just a box thinking about, isn't it? And then obviously, because here in Spain, don't forget, well, as far as I know, I might be wrong, but as far as I know, you then go into the furnace, you end up in a pot. And another thing, if you remember that Belladome comedy series, which is called, funny enough, Belladome, they went up to the cross and they scattered their friend over the sea. We're not allowed to do that in Spain. I think not allowed to do it in any country thinking about it. You're not allowed, even I've seen people do it. They spread the ashes, isn't it, out over the sea. I mean, that'd be a brilliant send-off, I must say. But anyway, 43 now. Well, we're going up. That's what I want to see. Wheels and wheels at the garage. That's another word I have a problem with. Wheels and wheels. They sound very similar, don't they? Wheels. But I have this problem with some English words. I don't know why. Eric Odell said, "I'm not dead yet." Well, that's very true. We're all alive, but sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I do wonder if I'm fully awake sometimes. But then my dog makes sure of that. How much on top of the asking price can you expect to pay for a property on Camposol? Says Colin. See, that's something else. I'm not an expert on that, Colin, and I'm not into the money. See, that's for professional people. You're asking a YouTuber like me to say, no, as far as I know, obviously there is a tax charge on top of that. I mean, what does annoy me, some of the estate agents actually have the price included, which is, I think, is a big help, included in the price. But a lot of them don't. They just do you the set price. Say it's, I don't know, 250,000, and then you got the IVA maybe, and then you got the tax on top of it, be it 10 or 15% on top of that. But like I said, you need to have a word with the estate agent on that, because I don't know, and I'm not going to guess it, because I'm going to get it wrong, and that's going to make it wrong for you. But what I've always did when I first come to Spain, I always added an extra 20% on anything. So when we come to Spain, and we had a fixed price on the property, and as always, we went over the top on the property. And then you got all the other charges, the moving charges, the renting. I always added an extra 20%. And obviously, talking about, you got your blooming solicitor and translate, all that other stuff that you have to have on top. It's all extras. So you got to allow all those extras. And I always say 20%. But no doubt somebody might say what the extra tax is. But another good thing is some of the agents also trying to be helpful. They will also give you the price in pounds. So I think having it in pounds gives you some other idea. Now, obviously, euros is going to be cheaper than pounds anyway. So you always, you got a little bit of extra. But it is a bit of a nightmare, Colin. And why they can't just be a little bit helpful and then just give you a price that they know you're going to be paying extra for. But they tend to ask you. Funny enough, I was watching when we got some time to gabble here. When we bought our property, because obviously we just come over and we didn't have any money hardly. The property that we liked, we wanted it there and then sort of thing, and you got to put down a deposit. And I think the deposit, from what I'm hearing, and this is what I'm saying, I'm just a YouTuber, was $3,000. No, we didn't have $3,000. And he just said, give me 50. So we give him 50. I think you got to give him a percentage of the price, because here in Spain, another thing you got to remember, it's nothing like the UK. In the UK, you can pull out if you, after a couple of weeks, if you don't like it, you can pull out. But here in Spain, once you committed yourself, you committed yourself. Be whatever that deposit is, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000. If you don't complete in the time that they've told you, and usually it's a month, you can lose that deposit. That's something else they don't make clear. And that's another thing here in Spain that it's different to the UK. So you've got to forget, when you're in another country, you've got to forget about, in the UK we can do this and that. Here, everything's run differently. So that's another thing you've got to get in your headset. Right, Kev, I knew somebody would do it. Kev's there. He said, right, my fees on the purchase was just over 11%. Property purchase tax alone is 8% here. So there you are. See, Colin, somebody is giving you the info, because I know if it come from me, it'd be well off. Right, English is hard. Just ask the Spanish. Rob, you're the man that knows. It is hard. So anyway, how we doing? I think that's it then, guys. I think I've got no more questions. I've got 31 in the house. We've nearly done the hour, which is the main thing. So, guys, the ones that are coming after and watch it later on tonight, if you can put any questions below this video, I can gabble about that next Sunday. Easy to buy in Spain, harder to sell. Right, Jonathan, that is very true. If the price is right, it will sell straight away. If you want a bit more, it'll take a long time. So I'm going to say adios, amigos. Hope you enjoyed the show. That's the main thing. I've had a great time. And Bengal Bert's already saying adios, amigos. So I'm going to say adios, amigos. I'm turning off now.